Hello and welcome back to Customer Discovery Workshop, and our last session is focusing on MVPs. MVP is not what the word we gave at basketball. In this context, it's minimal viable product. That's for product testing. In our context, we actually care more about what I call MVP, the minimal viable business product. This is to help you test the market viability. The purpose of designing a minimal viable product is to help you design experiments so that you can quickly test and learn what market think about your solution and actually quickly adjust so you can move forward with your business. Like any good experiments that we need to conduct, it's all focused around the assumptions and the hypotheses you have. So then we need to write down our assumptions and hypotheses and design the minimal viable product accordingly. Once you design the minimal viable product, we can run the experiment. It's very important, if you can, to set a measurable threshold and to continue with pivot if you need to, or iteration on your product. First of all, we want to write down our assumptions. It's very important to know any good assumptions need to be written down so that it's actionable. You have a lot of information you think at this point about your customer, about your product, and what they will do about it. It's very important to recognize not all of those are facts yet, because we have limited data points and we want to be able to test them. So the basic structure of an assumption is that I believe my target customer, for a certain reason and need, will do this action in terms of my solution I want to use. This structure will help you to understand all the different factors of who the customers are, what they need, and what they will do about it. In terms of assumptions, you might think that you have a lot of assumptions because you are at the early stage of the company. There's so much information you don't know. So which one you should start first is actually the ones that's the riskiest. If that assumption is wrong, you don't have a business, you want to test that one first. You also want to test any assumptions that may lead to longest lead time. So then it can help you to reduce the amount of time that due to that assumption. Of course, any assumption that has important financial consequences, you want to test them as well, because you don't want to be wrong in terms of making that decisions. In summary, anything that will cause you to pivot in terms of your market, your business model, your supply chain needs to be tested so that you're confident about what you want to do. And once you rank your assumptions in such a way, pick the first assumptions you want to test and starting to define your MVPs accordingly. An MVP can be in different ways. For example, in this example, it's an app and the user interface is very important. The assumptions defines that the users will find a beautiful and gesture-based control useful. So the MVP in this case is an interactive prototype. And the experiments that's conducted was that tasks were given to users so then they can follow instructions and trying to complete those tasks. Each user was given 30 minutes and then 15 minutes to debrief. The benchmark was that 50% of users will complete the task on their own. More users can accomplish this. It means that they find the user interface design was intuitive and it's a good design, you can go forward. If only 20% of users can complete the task, it means that a lot of them find it difficult to understand. You might have to adjust your design. Very straightforward, and you can get the meaningful and actionable data going away from this experiment. But it's really important to know that you don't have to build a fully functioning solution before you can test and get feedback from your customer. In fact, the best way to do that is actually through a product brochure. You can make this in terms of one afternoon and have it ready and show it to customers. This is an example from my class. The students were trying to automate a test, and what they did before they actually fully understand what they want to build and what the business models are, Did this product brochure communicate what it does, how they want to charge for it, and the benefits of using this solution? And when they show this around to people, they get a lot of meaningful feedback, just as if they actually had a demo. For next step, start to think about the assumptions you have for your product and your business. Complete lots of interviews if you don't have confidence about the data. Do those and then come back and write all the assumptions down, following the basic structure that I believe my target customers for this reason or needs will do something and use my solution. Then rank them in terms of the risks. Once you have 3 or 5 of them, we can work on them in person in our workshop and focusing on designing experiments, following to the next stage.